Übermensch, and the next level of self-awareness. And life itself told me this secret. Behold, it said, I am that which must overcome itself again and again. Nietzsche, from Ecce Homo. The prophetic philosopher-poet Friedrich Nietzsche was born with Saturn squaring Pluto, with Jupiter and Uranus conjunct, and Uranus in Aries, their exact position at this very moment. And so his words can help us pierce the fog of our present situation and assist us in navigating this madness. When Nietzsche's Zarathustra states, I teach you the Übermensch, the overman. Man is something that shall be overcome. What have you done to overcome him? He is arguing here against the passive acceptance of the status quo, Saturn in his shadow, especially in oneself. He invites a Uranian revolution against the trappings of the ego identity, that which feels comfortable, content, that which follows arbitrary rules, self-imposed constrictions, familiar and stale pathways to nowhere. Whatever stagnant action, thought, idea, relationship, or home that will not seed evolution must be destroyed. Evolution is a Plutonian process. Pluto, in his square to Saturn and Uranus, demands the negative unconscious to surface and be alchemically shifted and vibrationally uplifted. As Pluto in Capricorn continues to peel away the nasty grime of corporate and governmental structures, he's also stripping us as individuals down to the naked skeleton in the mirror. So that as we step into the totality of our personal power and offer it to the emerging awakening, we keep finding ourselves in a bardo of shamanic dismemberment, the push, pull, tug of war with our attraction to suffering, but our desire for self-mastery. So ask yourself these questions. 1. How and in what areas of life am I a control freak? Saturn square Pluto. 2. How do I channel my original voice? In what way do I give my own unique genius to inspire others? Jupiter conjunct Uranus. 3. How does my need to control a particular area of my life prevent the expression of my ultimate freedom and the liberation of my individual gifts, allowing my authentic genius to soar and guide others? The answers to these questions may send tremors through our psyche, but Nietzsche reminds us that we are supposed to be irritated in this old skin. Our discomfort burrs the deeper soul desire to go beyond, in that kind of urgent friction of first passion, in that raw chemical intensity of seeming strangers who must make love to save their lives. We are magnetized now by that which will demand the fullest expression of our love. Since none of us know the depth of our devotional potential, we must not hesitate but instead dive in order to transcend. We must answer the call in order to hear the song. And yet, how do we sleep when the sirens own our dreams? Maybe Saturn knows. Often we think of Saturn as this rigid, unyielding force. Perhaps as Saturn moves into Libra for the next 2.5 years, we can recognize Saturn's positive attributes: patience, appreciation for that which has been accomplished, the step-by-step path, building the pyramid of ascension, one golden brick at a time. Maybe you hear Saturn asking if you can share your special gift in a slightly different way, a way that which will preserve instead of dilute your energy. This gives a whole new meaning to Saturn's conservative nature. Even as Jupiter-Uranus heave us into some 2012 apocalyptic apex of collective spiritual awareness, with their lurking alpha-omega singularity point, maybe Saturn in Libra's conservative nature helps us to remember to conserve our resources and energy in order to remain in a state of both relaxation and preparation. A more stable situation. For balance is the goal achievable with the support of our soul family. Allow Saturn to give you some modicum of reprieve from that sense of urgency that we must complete it all now, or that we must party all at once, or that we must create our masterpiece in this passing second. fly like the fool. As the infinite possibilities of the open heart chakra compound, as 6 degrees of separation give way to just one, we often feel intimidated by the many paths, partners, or projects unfolding before us. One of the cardinal cross's functions, then, is to make us undoubtedly aware of the delicate acrobatics of somehow nurturing the projects and relationships we have labored over with such love, while at the same time stepping up and through the hyper portal into the next dimension of our spiritual mission. Jupiter's big boisterous storms keep expanding the horizon of our visionary potential, so electrified with the Uranian excitement for the future, for the incoming, for the great change. We scream and shout and we let it all out. I want to make it happen. I want to be on the front lines, but I'm only one person. And how do I rest when the circus is in town, with all this nervous energy sandwiched by the pressures of the birth canal? We are no longer on the precipice. Yes, my friends, we have run off the cliff. So now full throttle leap in the direction of those who will act as your trampoline, bouncing you and your manifold magical missions here upon the earth into their summer fruition. Let your cosmic tribe catch you but for a moment. Let them sew on your wings and ignite your rocket. Be not overwhelmed by the vista. As you launch into imagination's majesty, you are not meant to fathom this expanse, but only to fly into the center of your mandalic vision. And on the quest you will ask, what is this delicious impending? But an unpredictable erotic encounter. And Zarathustra states, I say unto you, one must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. Therefore be not afraid of the Creator within. And be careful with that oil spill, out of control energy spewing from the oversoul depths of the unconscious ocean, the birth of a dancing star. Orgasm without end. Can you sustain the cardinal climax? Cross the threshold into a new season of consciousness? A spice in the eye, a curry in the retina. Do not wash it out. Let the tears flow and pry the lids and the lips open wider to receive the sacred heart of the world on fire. Stay present in each moment, following what is right in front of you, and allow yourself to be invited. For there is grace in this grit, and now we bathe in it. Here is the cosmic plug attached like an umbilical cord to your navel lifeline. Here is the highest voltage spewing out in every possible direction, all at once. In that sucking sense, that drawn and quartered magnet at once become elastic. As you hit the still point in the center with the arrow of silence, now you are liquid everywhere and nowhere all at once. In the relative scheme of things, everything matters, and that stone on your shoulder, it is as inconsequential or as essential as only you choose. Therefore lead me, my guides, towards compassion with my limitation. For halfway up the mountain, if you don't adjust that stone, or let it go, or stop and let someone help you, how will you be able to appreciate the view? How will the grandeur bewilder and excite you enough to carry on? An allowance of the perspective that brings peace. Even as you wander in this life of service, as I offer myself as a channel of the universe, I am this paradoxical flesh, seeming so often a finite conduit for this infinite, massive, multidimensional info overload, energetic outflow. Dichotomous. Now we all admit it. I am the fool in the tarot, and I do not know. And so I laugh about it. I compose my mirror poem with grotesque and funny faces. Because it only makes sense if you have a sense of humor.